Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Lost Christmas, a sequel to How the Grinch Stole Christmas. By Alistair Hine, illustrated by Estrius Ruse. Up high on Mount Crumpet, just north of the Who just delivered the day's Whoville news. The cave on Mount Crumpet was home to the Grinch, who sprung from his cave just enough plus 1 inch to stare down at Whoville from high up above it. Tomorrow was Christmas, and speaking thereof it, my heart grinned the Grinch has grown to quite love it. The Grinch had been patiently waiting all year to celebrate Christmas and bring the Who's cheer, and to show every Who he was different now. I've changed, Father Grinch, and I'll prove it, but how? While eating his breakfast of Who hash on rye, a newspaper near Share caught his eye. A contest in Whoville tomorrow at 3 to see who can make the most Christmassy tree. You got an idea? A crafty idea. The Grinch got an awfully crafty idea. He laughed in his throat. I know just what to do. And the Grinch grabbed a pencil and drew. With a plan in his hand, the Grinch hiked Who would, and where he found the most Christmassy tree that he could. And he chopped the tree with his tree chopping axe till the tree was chopping hill down next to Max. Then they hiked their way home with the tree on their backs. Our cellar has all the things we will use. Start decorating our tree for the Who's. Quick, grab ribbons, he shouted. Grab bunches of bows. Grab plenty of these, pile of those. Bring everything reddish and everything greenish and every last colorful thing in betweenish. On win. On win, he was grinishly humming, and all of a sudden he heard something coming. Now who could that be? The Grinch said with a sneer. He turned around fast, and who should appear? Right there in the hall, he said Cindy Lou Who, the sweetest of all, who's what he knew. Hello, she exclaimed, I have something to ask. I do hope it isn't a bothersome task. I've come here to ask a small favor, you see. If you have time and you could make one for me. The Grinch interrupted her tiny request. My dear, he replied, it will really be best to ask me tomorrow on Christmas, you see. Right now I must finish my prize-winning tree. Perhaps I can help you, sweet Slindy Lou said, but the Grinch simply patted the Who on her head, and he shooed her outside and replied, don't be silly, do run along home now before it gets chilly. Throughout the whole day and late into the night, he worked on that tree till that tree was just right. I done each other, it's perfectly grand. I hope that shows every Who in the land. Wonderful Christmas spirit I found. I know in my heart I am sure to be crowned. As a quarter passed on, the sun rising fast, the Who's were awake. It was Christmas at last. The bells around Whoville were ringing and dinging. Now in Whoville were merrily singing. The Grinch ran outside and cried, Christmas is here. At the sound of the ringing, a sing-along cheer. And when he for the Grinch to depart, he lowered sight and took off like a dart, sliding down to the Hilltown Square. Contestants, the Grinch heard the mayor declare, it's time for the judges to judge all your trees. The rest of the Who's have a seat, if you please. And the trees were lined up from the tallest to smallest. The Grinch's tall tree was the tallest of all. And down at the end, to the far right, was Cindy Lou Who with its much smaller height. When the mayor announced who had taken first place, the Grinch felt his Christmas heart start to race. And now the mayor said, without further ado, look, Destiny Police number 2 lives high on Mount Crumpet. We're thrilled that he's here. The Grinch wins the second place trophy this year. The Grinch was shocked and his head turned shrinking, and so was told that there in the square, all the Who's were near it. Are certain they saw it and sure they could hear it. The moment the Grinch lost his Christmas spirit, his arm started itching, his legs started twitching, the bulb of his eyes started twitching and itching, and that Christmas filled heart, well, it shrunk down. I have been robbed, the Grinch snarled, and I'm through with this tale. The Grinch stood his tree in the ramshackle sight, and he hugged it and tugged it and hauled it away. His heart was to get him to stay. The Who's were all speechless, unsure what to say. The Grinch climbed and climbed, his heart grew more frozen. Well, back at the contest, a winner was chosen. Today, on the merriest day in the land, the mayor declared with his Who horn in hand, I'll give you our winner. She's not more than 3. It's Cindy Lou Who has made the best tree. The Who girl asked every Who there that day to make her an ornament she could display to celebrate Whoville and everyone in it. She entered the contest not thinking she'd win it. The Grinch heard the mayor from high on the peak, and Cindy Lou Who grabbed the Who horn to speak. I want to make all of Whoville a tree. The ornament each of you Who's made for me. There's one ornament missing, you see. The whole town of Whoville was there on each limb, except except for the Grinch. She called out to him, "Now please, Mr. Grinch, I saved you a spot. You're something we Who's like an awfully long. This tree is for Whoville. You're part of it, too." "Hope you can hear me," said Cindy Lou Who. Cindy Lou's voice stopped the Grinch in his tracks. He looked down at Whoville and then looked down at Max. "I thought the Grinch puzzle, a prize-winning tree, would prove to the Who's what today means to me. I showed him my first I truly belong. That was wrong and belonged all along, and maybe, just maybe, we could all win instead. I've aimed together at Christmas," he said. Narrow Mount Crumpet had been near, able to see it and hear. To the moment his heart grew a few sizes more than his heart had grown ever before. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch and his dog whizzed back down on the sleigh, and the Grinch placed his ornament on the small tree, and he lifted it high so the Who's all hooray, and they jumped to their feet. The Grinch said, "Now our tree's complete," and the mayor declared, "We have one thing to do to make it official for Cindy Lou Who. Would you do the honors?" He pointed and said, and the Grinch, he himself, placed a crown on her head.